What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we have got some really exciting Digimon cards that we need to be taking a little bit of a look at. We have had a couple of new level 7s, which have gone and been revealed from the upcoming Double Diamond set, and I, for one, am absolutely super over the top excited about them. Our translations today come from the lovely Enzan Gaming with an assist from the lovely folks over at digimoncard.dev, and we might as well start off with the headliner here. We have got Agumon Bond of Courage. Now, we knew Agumon Bond of Courage was coming, of course, because Agumon Bond of Courage is on the booster pack for PT6. So I think it was always going to be in the set. It would be weird if they put it on the booster pack, but didn't put it in the set. So what we've got here is a new level 7, and it's an absolute monster. 14 cost to play normally is about right, given that it's got 14,000 power. But it's only a 3 cost to Digivolve. And generally speaking, when we look at these level 7s, we are expecting them to Digivolve for a 6 cost. Digivolving for a 3 cost is, quite frankly, pretty gosh darned awesome. So we like it straight off the bat. But we've got some skills here that are a little bit nuts. Really nuts. When you attack, that is every turn when you attack, if you have a tamer in play, choose one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 power or less and delete it. The thing is, if we look at the card, that little bit there, which generally says it's limited to once during your turn, isn't there. So what that means is, if you can attack multiple times with this Digimon, if you can use some of those cards that make this Digimon active, then you can delete multiple 13,000 power Digimon. To put this into perspective, your average level 6 is 11,000 power. That's generally what we tend to see. If we look at some really big level 6s, some of the ones that really kind of buck the trend in terms of size, we can look at Agumon, which has 13,000 power. It is extremely rare to find a level 6 Digimon with more than 13,000 power. So to put it another way, every time you attack, you get to delete a Digimon unless it's a level 7. And even then, you got ones like Millenniummon that come in at 13,000 power, and Millenniummon will be taken out here. To put this very simply, oh my goodness, I love it. Like, genuinely over the top, love it. This is just a phenomenal skill, and it is exactly the kind of skill which is going to turn around and start transforming the game. This is the kind of redonkulous skill around which you should be running and trying to build a deck. This is ridiculous. Oh, sorry, there's more. When your opponent's Digimon has been deleted during your turn, and this is limited to once during your turn, you trash your opponent's security card. That is ridiculous. Because if we put these two skills together, and you do have to have a tamer in play, this is going to be one of those decks that is all over the tamers. But if you've got a tamer in play, you attack. You delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 power or less, then you trash a security card. Now, this is limited to once during your turn, so even if you make yourself active and attack again and delete another Digimon, you still won't actually be able to take out a second security card, which I think is fair. This card, to me, looks borderline broken, even with this second skill limited to once during your turn. If it wasn't, I think it would just be absolutely ridiculous, and we'd all have to get a little bit annoyed and start the let's ban it bandwagon. And remember, when you trash a security card, you don't activate any security skills, there is no security battle, you just trash it. So the fact of the matter is, we've got a cheap Digimon to Digivolve, and every time you attack, you take out a Digimon, pretty much level 6 or below, and you trash a security card the first time every turn as well. This is ridiculous. Also, as a side note, that second skill You don't need a tamer in play to use it. You just need to delete a Digimon at some point during your turn. Although remember, deleting a security Digimon in a security battle will not count. Frankly, this is an absolutely dumb card, and it is just absolutely ridiculously good. This is one of the easiest 5 Wassies I've ever given to a Digimon card. This could well be one of the best cards we've ever seen. No. This is one of the best cards we've seen. This is absolutely flat out ridiculous. And I've already seen a couple of people mention this, so let's say this straight off the bat. No, Nokia Shiramine cannot summon this straight off the bat. Nokia plays an Agumon or Gabumon, not a Digimon whose name contains Agumon or Gabumon. Otherwise, this really would be ridiculously over the top, and this would be actual broken. No, Nokia Shiramine cannot go and get this. That would be ridiculous. So frankly, we've already looked at one of the best cards we've ever seen. It's absolutely over the top, but we've got an Agumon coming in as well. What we've got here is both turns, once during your turn, so on all players' turns, limited to once during your turn, when you play a timer with Yagami Taichi in its name, you gain a memory. Tai Kamiya, as that tamer is always called in English. And there are a bunch of those that we can actually go and play. But the thing is, it actually gets better, because remember, we're talking about this, and I've actually told you the stats. It's a free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. It's a very standard card. But you can essentially Digivolve this for free, leave it sitting there, and then all of your Tai Kamiya cards actually end up costing 1 memory less when you play them. I cannot be the only one that thinks that's a little bit ridiculous, over the top, nuts good. I cannot be. That's kind of awesome. But we've also got an inheritable skill coming in here, whereby when this Digimon is Agumon Bond of Courage, when it evolves all the way up into the one we've just talked about, security check +1. Or security attack +1, I should say. That's ridiculous! Now, that ridiculous card that we've already been raving about how amazing it is, now has security attack +1, just in case it wasn't good enough anyway. So you're taking out a 13,000 power Digimon, trashing a security card, and then attacking 2 security in one go. I mean, goodness gracious me. We didn't really need any extra tricks for it, but this Agumon comes along, and the Agumon's just like, you know what? I got your back. And the thing that makes this Agumon so gosh darn good is the inheritable skill is amazing, although obviously it's very much limited to Bons of Courage Agumon. And the main skill is amazing, even though the main skill is very much limited to Tai Kamiya. But remember, you need to play a tamer for Agumon Bond of Courage anyway, and this is just adding up so gosh darned quickly. Oh yeah, speaking of which, we've actually got a new Tai Kamiya coming in here as well, just in case we didn't have enough cool stuff to look at. Although Tai looks a lot older here, and it's freaking me out just a little bit. And what we've got here is a free cost tamer, but bearing in mind, if you've got the new Agumon out, it's actually a 2 cost tamer, which is frankly a little bit awesome. And it says that while there is a Digimon named Agumon or Greymon that moves from your hatching or breeding area to your battle area, gain 1 memory and draw 1 card. So every time you take an Agumon or a Gabumon from your breeding area into your active during the breeding phase, or into your battle area during the breeding phase, you gain a memory and you draw a card. And this just adds up stupid quickly, because what we basically got here is a free cost tamer, but it's only a 2 cost of an Agumon down. But then if you bring an Agumon out from your breeding area, then you've gained a memory, so it's essentially been a 1 cost tamer, and you've gone and drawn a card. And then of course you can do this multiple times, because I mean, you can play, well, at this stage, 1 billion Agumon. Again, it does seem to be named Agumon, not with Agumon in its name. So if you've got an Agumon heavy deck, then every other turn, because 1 turn to hatch, 1 turn to evolve, etc., every other turn you can bring an Agumon out from your breeding area, and then at that stage you get to draw a card and gain a memory every other turn. That just seems over the top ridiculous, and we're still not done. Because once during your turn, you may evolve an Agumon into an Agumon Bond of Courage from your hand by paying its Digivolution cost, ignoring any evolution requirements, i.e. you are Digivolving that level 3 Agumon straight into a level 7 Agumon Bond of Courage using the usual free cost, but ignoring the fact that you don't have a level 4, a level 5, a level 6, which is a bit ridiculous. Now, you do have to discard 2 security cards in order to do this, and then at the end of your turn, if your security is 1 or above, i.e. if you have any security whatsoever remaining, this Digimon will be deleted. But oh my goodness, it's awesome. Now, one thing I want to point out to you, right, if you're late in the game, if you've got no security remaining, there is no downside here. If you've got no security remaining, you can basically evolve your Agumon straight up into an Agumon Bond of Courage. You don't have to discard your 2 security cards because you don't have any to discard. Remember, you lose the game when your opponent attacks when you've got no security. You don't lose the game when they would trash security, but there isn't any. And because your security is 0, you won't be deleted at the end of your turn. So early in the game, sometimes this will be worth it for the tempo. Sure, you've got to trash 2 security cards. Sure, you get deleted at the end of your turn. But it's worth it because of the amount of tempo you can build by playing the Agumon Bond of Courage so quickly. However, as you get later on into the game, and you actually end up with no security, there is absolutely no downside whatsoever. And this is amazing. To be honest with you, if you just play this tamer to gain the memory and draw cards when you move an Agumon from your breeding area out, it's a great card. Because every other turn, you should be gaining a memory and drawing one. But you've also got this cheating evolution, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And bearing in mind, if you've got multiple tie out, you can potentially Digivolve multiple times, and sure, you'll get rid of all of your security, but can you imagine a turn where you've got 4 Agumon out and you just trash all your security to get 4 Agumon Bonds of Courage going in one turn? I can, ladies and gentlemen. And bearing in mind that when you attack, you trash a security card when you delete a Digimon, I think that would be absolutely worth it. This is a ridiculous combo. I mean, I went on and on about how great Agumon Bond of Courage is, but now we've got an Agumon that will both reduce the cost of playing Tai Kamiya and give you extra security check when you're Agumon Bond of Courage, and we've got a Tai Kamiya, which lets you draw a card and gain a memory when you bring an Agumon out from your breeding area, and lets you cheat evolution from a level 3 right up to a level 7. I mean, goodness me. This is ridiculous. This is one of the best combos we've seen, one of the best cards we've seen. I probably sounded quite effusive in my praise of this card up to now, and if anything, I have been underselling how good it is. When I say ridiculous, I mean ridiculous. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWazzy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.